It's the place where dreams come true in Orlando, Florida, and for two of Florida's own, Caleb Sturgis and Kyle Christie, hoping their dreams become reality here at Walt Disney World tomorrow. Two of the best specialists in the country, two having a kick of a season.
I'm just really proud of how the team's done this year, and just everything I've been able to experience at the University of Florida. So any type of personal awards, it'd be cake.
Kicking field goals have been a piece of cake for the Florida senior, going 23 of 27 this year, earning the school's all-time record for career makes in the process. But the two-time Lou Groza finalist isn't alone. Sophomore Kyle Christie is up for the Ray Guy Award, averaging over 46 yards a punt, and in company he couldn't have imagined being in at the start of the season.
Going into this year, I never would have expected I would be here, to be honest. It's really cool, especially I was kind of overwhelmed coming into all this stuff. I'm here as an athlete or whatever, but I'm also a fan. I'm just a fan of Sturge, just rooting for him.
But when presented with a paper football challenge, let's just say Kyle was way off his average.
Oh, that was awful.
He didn't get a lot of hang time.
Yeah.
What? Disappointed.
Bad drop. Happens.
TV20 caught up with another repeat Lou Groza finalist, and sure enough, FSU kicker Dustin Hopkins fell right back into Seminole lore.
Oh, no.
I think that was a wide right.
That was wide right.
That was totally, we don't want that
history.
Florida State.
Bad history.
So we went back to a Gator to show him how it's done. I think that was up. Yeah, this goes to infinity. That looks good.
Always feels good being Florida State.
The Gators senior and sophomore have had fantastic seasons thus far, but hopefully they'll use their legs for a little less kicking, a little more dancing down the halls tomorrow night. In Orlando, Florida, Angelo Caruso, WCJB, TV20 Sports. C.J. Spiller and Gerard Warren learned a special saying during their playing days at Union County High School, and the duo was more than willing to share the mantra at their second annual football camp.
We get out of it what we put in it.
We didn't have this growing up. We didn't have anybody that came back and gave to us and put on camps like this. So for me and Gerard to do it, that's pretty much what we talked about.
Over 200 kids were jumping for joy the second straight year the free camp passed the plateau, and the former NFL first-round draft picks brought in some big names from not-so-big places to bring home the big message.
Most of us guys are from area, small town guys. Pleased to see all these kids show up out here. It's great working with them. They're competing well. We just try to come out and provide a good example and show them that they can do anything that they want to do in life.
Kids put in the effort in the hot summer sun, but when they made a mistake, they paid the price in push-ups or jumping jacks. Oof. Gerard is intense.
Let's go back!
And you're kind of soft-spoken. Is that by design, or is that just how your guys' personalities work out?
That's just how our personalities work out. He got his way of doing it, and I got my way of doing it. He's a very intense player. And it's rubbing off to them guys, and they'll remember this for the rest of their lives.
This is only the beginning, but once we collaborate and everybody really put this thing together, we can bring something big to the northern region of the Florida football.
Warren and Spiller never forgot where they came from, and from the looks of the kids' faces, the former Tigers are getting out of it exactly what they put into it. In Lake Butler, Angelo Caruso, WCJB, TV20 Sports. Not everything in sports is always as it seems. At first glance, this group of guys taking part in softball practice looks pretty ordinary. But take a closer look. And the ordinary morphs to extraordinary. All wounded veterans, all amputees of some kind.
They all were athletes prior to getting injured, and they wanted to get on a competitive team, and they wanted to do something like this. They just never expected they would ever be able to do it.
David Van Sleet started the Wounded Warrior amputee softball team, aimed to give post-9/11 veterans a second chance to do something they love.
Timmy, pick it up, Tim.
It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And when David called me at the beginning of November and asked if I wanted to go down to Florida and play softball, there was no way I was going to tell him that I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Kyle's one of 18 on the team, with his particular injury caused after shrapnel took his hand in a roadside bombing in Iraq. Each player with a story to tell, but none as remarkable as 22-year-old and double amputee Josh Wegge.
I got hurt in 2009 in Afghanistan on a routine vehicle patrol. We rolled over an IED, and I lost both my legs as a result. If I told you I knew everything was going to be okay, I'd be lying. I didn't know what my future was going to hold, but I wasn't about to let sports or anything slip away from me.
Josh, third base.
There you go.
You can go one of two ways. You can go the way we have, which is continue living your life and striving to do the things you did before. And there's guys that just lay in their bed and play video games and just feel sorry for themselves. And we definitely hope to touch them and let them know that, you don't have to do that.
They've touched everyone who's seen them in action, showing the sacrifice they gave to protect our freedom. Just last month, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes took the field against the Warriors, with former Gators and Olympians alike awestruck from this band of brothers.
We can all say that we've had an obstacle in our life to get to where we are now or in our sports career, but what they've gone through is just, it's really, really inspiring.
The can-do attitude continues by limiting their opponents to able bodies only. If they can instill confidence in others who watch them play, consider it mission accomplished.
I think that's what this team is about, is that, look at us. We're not going to stop, and we're not any different than you. If anything, we might play better.
A little boy went to watch the wounded Warriors play. He never wore shorts before because of his own prosthetic leg, but after seeing them in action, he proudly doesn't wear pants anymore to hide it. That's the kind of self-confidence this team is bringing out in people. Tomorrow, we'll introduce you to a remarkable local veteran who's teaching the same principles through his sport.